Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Sorry. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Roy, the founder of Chairman, the Standard Association. Today, supposedly, Donald will be here, but unfortunately, he's busy. I will be the replacement. But anyway, it's great honor to meet all of you today. Today's seminar organized by the Hong Kong Startup Founder Association focused on the theme of intelligent innovation, the new ERA of AI-driven e-commerce and digital marketing. We owe the successful hosting of this event to the generous support from various parties, including the funding from the Innovation and Technology Commissions, as well as the continuous help from our supporting organizations. Last but not the least, a big thank you to all our guests here joining us in person and via Zoom. Before we kick off the event, I would like to take a moment to express our gratitude to today's guest speakers. We will have a simple yet formal certificate presentation. Now I would like to invite our first speaker, Mr. Gao, and receive the certificate.
All right. That's good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Have a seat, please.
And next, I would like to invite our second speaker, Mr. Sikri.
Have a seat, please.
Finally, I would like to invite
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Hey guy, where's Donald?
Thanks. I don't know. Oh, it's okay.
Let's
Yeah.
follow together.
Yes,
Please,
come up.
Yeah.
The group photo.
一齊。
唔使。
It's okay.
Just okay. There you go. Next one.
Okay, thank you. One more.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your patience. Today's program will consist of presentation from all these three speakers, followed by a panel discussion. I will now hand the stage over to Mr. Gao. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hello everyone, I'm Ian. I'm so glad to stand here to share our business with you, which is AI-powered group delivery platform. And I believe most of you have used the delivery platform Nakita before. And let me ask you a question. How many of you have been hesitant to place an order because of the high price of the delivery? If the answer is yes, please raise your hands.
High price.
Yeah, high price of the delivery. Like, no? Yeah, okay. So maybe you are not our type user, but that's okay. But I found the strong demand in the student group. Like, I found most of the time that each delivery man, they only deliver one order at once. So I began to think, why don't we deliver 10 orders or 20 orders at once to share the shipping costs? So I founded this platform, and you can see these 4 pictures. They were taken during our operations. Like you can see each time we will deliver multiple orders at once. For example, this is delivered from the restaurants, and we have more than 20 orders delivery at once. Okay, so as a user, if you place an order on the Kita or other delivery platform, you're going to pay for a minimum order fee for $60 Hong Kong, and which includes a $20 Hong Kong delivery fee. But if you place an order on our platform, your minimum order fee will be as low as 10 or 15 Hong Kong, and the delivery fee will be close to zero, will be equals to zero. And I will explain why this makes sense later. And if you are a delivery man, so traditionally you work for Kita, for each delivery you will get $30 Hong Kong. But if you work for us, each time you will deliver more than 20 orders at once, or even 30 or 40, and you will get more than hundreds or even 200 delivery fee at once. And for the merchants, so traditionally you receive orders from the delivery platform. So this is basically what you are doing. So you receive an order and you produce the food, and you receive another order and you produce, you order and produce, but if you cooperate with us, we will integrate all the orders at once and send it to you, so you can make some planning at once, and you can improve your efficiency of producing the food. Okay. So what I want to stress here is that this is actually something the users, the delivery man, and the merchants, they are all willing to do. So the thing with our user is very simple. So the delivery fee is too high. So maybe mainly on the student group, yeah, which are not so rich. And to address this problem, we launched our platform, AI-powered group delivery platform. So two keywords. First one is AI, and second one is group delivery. For the group delivery, as I just mentioned, it can share the delivery costs. And for the AI, it mainly refers to the AI promotion, which is another highlight of our platform. So in the past, you want to eat and you go to the delivery platform and choose your food and place an order. But now we integrate the AI chatbot, and it will do some promotion intelligently in the social media. So this is actually a shift from the user looks for food to food looks for user, just like the Google and Twitter. And this has been validated by our market as a very useful tool to increase our sales and also ensuring that we have enough orders at once to share the shipping costs. And this is our technical architecture. I'm not going through the details of it. I just want to mention that the AI promotion function is basically implemented by the large language model and the API. Here comes our business model. So 3 sentences. First one, as I just mentioned, aggregate orders, reduce shipping costs. And the second one, it tells how we operate this. So community as the unit, group chat as the method, which means that we will establish group chat based on the community, and we will operate within the group chat. And finally, empowering merchants, benefiting users means that we help the merchants to save their labor costs, and we help the users to save their money. And here's a simple example of how we get revenue. So you can see, you can buy a beef burger at store or at bottom of your building with the same price. Both is $50 Hong Kong, but even though we can still make revenue, because it's mainly because the merchants, they're willing to give us some discount because we have multiple orders at once. So you will see the price we buy a burger from merchants will be lower than 50. And here are some information about our market. I just want to stress 2 points. The first one is over 90% of Hong Kong's population lives in high-rise building, which means we can deliver the food to the bottom of our users' building and they can come up to pick it up. It's very convenient. So which also means this mode is well suited to operation in Hong Kong. And the second thing is that the food delivery market will reach 7.4 billion the next year. But this market mainly refers to the market above $60. And what we are actually doing is that we are creating a new low price market between $10 and $60. And from a sustainability perspective, because we shift from delivering one order at once to deliver multiple orders at once, so we can significantly reduce the carbon emissions and also improve the delivery efficiency, just like your delivery take the bus. Here's an example to show how it operates. Right? You can see in the right is the merchants and the left is our chatbot. And the merchants, they will provide some basic information to our chatbots, and it will generate some promotional copy and picture and also link. And as a user, you can click the link to jump to our platform and place an order. So actually, we found that a considerable amount of our users, they don't know what to eat for their lunch or dinner. So I believe this is the best way to address this issue. Because we've integrated the AI chatbot to social media, which brings it closer to our users' life, and they can browse the food options besides chatting with their friends. And here are some real feedbacks from our users. I can see that we have received a lot of positive feedback, and we also have seen a strong demand. I remember that some of my friends, they asked us to operate in their community. So here's where we are. We are currently operating in Tripoli student hall residence. We have more than 500 users. So actually in the initial days, there are no one willing to place an order. But we believe that we can create value for our users by sharing the shipping costs. So we continue to improve for several months. And finally, we found an operational model that users favor. So for the future plan, we are going to focus on student market for the initial groups, because as a student myself, it's very convenient for us to get into this market. And the second thing is that we are going to expand cooperation with different types of merchants, because we are opening a low price delivery market, especially for those drinks, pastries. And the last thing is that we are going to improve our AI feature to make sure that we have a good user journey. Something about our team. Am I sharing as here? Thanks very much.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Gao. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Saki. Sorry, yeah, Saki, right? Not Suki, Saki. Thanks. Please come here and show your presentation. Thank you very much.
Hi guys, this is Saket. So today I'll be talking about something that's really close to my heart, which is about telling you how to build a product. So in this world right now, see, everyone would like to, there are so many founders, so many entrepreneurs in the world right now, and everyone wants to come up with an idea. But the question is, how do you build an idea? How do you actually build a product that gets out of the market? Now, I want you to imagine, all of you, let's say one of you has a $1 billion idea, an amazing idea. Now, will you wait months to build a product, or will you use AI to build a product in a few weeks? So now I'm going to tell you, how do you use AI to build your MVP? Now, before I talk about that, does any one of you know what is an MVP? Anyone? Yeah, the definition is. The definition is minimum viable product, and it's a book description. Every one of us know, okay, it's a minimum viable product, but what is it exactly? Now, here, you guys know what Airbnb is, right? You guys used it, right? Airbnb. Now, let's go back to 10 years ago, when Airbnb actually came out with the product. So what does Airbnb do? They lease out people's apartment to travelers, right? Now, when they were thinking about this idea decades ago, 10 to 15 years ago, right? They did not think, oh, I need to build that entire tech architecture, entire product. I need to hire 20 teams and then make the product very nice and then build it. They did not think that. They were thinking, okay, what is the problem I'm solving? What exactly am I doing? What they were doing? They were listing out apparel to other people. That's it. And they were giving it to people. So what they did is they just made a simple website to list one apartment. That's it. So what a minimum viable product, MVP, is the simplest product that solves a problem. So for Airbnb, it was just a simple website doing an application. So what I'll do now is I will tell you the entire startup MVP process. Now imagine one of you here has an amazing idea. Then what do you do with that idea? Or like, what do you actually do after you have the idea? So I'll explain you the items one at a time. The first one is validate the problem. Now, we're doing a startup, someone else is doing a startup, you might have an idea, but then what's really important, even before building the product, getting it out to people, it's really important for you to understand that if your product solves a problem, do people actually want it? Are you actually solving someone's problem? For example, right now, in this space in Toho, right? And there are people working there. What is the space doing? They're letting people work, right? They're providing space. That's a problem you're solving. Similarly, when you have an idea, any idea, what's really important for you to understand that is there a need? So what you do is you first initially talk to people. No matter what idea you have to do a couple of interviews to people, speak to them, understand whether you have a need for your product, and then what you do, ask them about a current solution, what are there? Now, if I want to create another Airbnb for Hong Kong, would that make sense? Maybe not. Because why? Because there is an Airbnb. But is there a different way I could do an Airbnb? Can I make it better? If that's something people wanted, then yeah, maybe there's a need for that. Now, for example, if you guys know about Google Drive or Dropbox, what this does is it lets you store things, upload things, right? So if you think about Dropbox, we go like 10 years ago, when they came up with their product, what they initially did is they did not write a single line of code. They made a video and they posted it. They were talking about what Dropbox is, what they were thinking. They did not build a product yet, but they were thinking what Dropbox could be. And then when people were actually showing interest, that's when they realized, okay, there's a problem that needs to be solved. Now, the question is, what I said in the beginning, that how can you use AI to do this first step, which is understanding whether there's a need? You see, right now, there are a lot of different applications, like let's say a LAN bot, Intercom AI, which lets you speak to customers and interview. So these sort of applications have information from all around the world. So if Airbnb wanted to do, let's say if Airbnb wanted to open right now, they would not speak to so many people. There are AI applications where you can just, speak to those and they can tell you where there's a need. Similarly, other platforms like Talkwalker, Brand22, what they do is they listen to what people are saying on the social media. Instagram, Twitter, Little Red Book, TikTok, Facebook, all sort of platforms. They listen. People comment on the platform, people actually talk about different things. So what they do is they understand different information, and you can actually use these information to understand, okay, is there a need for my product? So the use case for AI here is, instead of you spending time to go to different customers, what it can do is it can help you automate all of those conversations. It can help you, maybe there's a trend for the thing you were doing, and it can actually help you to insight. Now, going to the next step. So after you have understood a problem, now, this step is done. You have the problem. The next step is to actually build the simplest version of your idea. So how simple can I build a product that it solves a problem? So I have been using the Airbnb's example for a while because I like what they did. At that time, when Airbnb came out, they first tested the idea with a simple website with an apartment. They thought, if I just do that solves the problem, and I can get feedback from people. Similarly, for you guys, whenever you have an idea, anything, you have to think about, I don't need to build 20 websites, 20 web pages. I don't need to build such a big application. Maybe I can just create a design, make a video out of it, send it to people and tell them, hey, this is something I'm trying to build. Do you think it solves your problem? Do you think it solves a problem, takes something out of your life, makes it easy? Now, how can we use AI here to actually build your MVP? So in the market right now, there are so many tools. I'm not sure how many of you here can code. How many of you here cannot code, cannot write a code? Can I see some hands? Right? Yeah. Yeah, so majority, yeah, see, majority of the people here cannot code. But does that mean when you have an idea, you'll not work on it? No, right? So does that mean you will just say it and think, I cannot code, so does that mean my startup is a failure? So what happens after that? So see, because you cannot code, there are other platforms like Framer, Webflow, Bubble. What it does is, it just lets you drag and drop things. You know, use a mouse, take things and put there. Even on these platforms, let's say you're thinking about, make me a website for my new pastry store and show different pastries like egg tart, croissant, and all the other stuff. And when you write those texts and click enter, it will automatically feed you the whole thing. So at this stage right now, in the year 2024, people don't need to know how to code to test an MVP. When your company, when your idea becomes big, that's when you actually hire a team of engineers to actually build a product. But then when you're just starting, you cannot say, oh, I can't code, so maybe I shouldn't do anything. There are platforms like this. Now, you might think, okay, it created a website of my food pastry, but I don't like the picture of the egg tart. It gave me, what do I do? Then you have platforms like DALL-E and other platforms where you can create images created by AI. All you're gonna do is type, oh, create me a picture of an egg tart, and it will create you a picture of egg tart, and you can just use it to do it. So you don't need hundreds of thousands of people to help you. You yourself is more than enough to actually build an MVP. Now, next, so now you have understood the problem. You have understood the problem. You have built an MVP. Now, what do you do next? You test if people are interested. Now, same thing. Your food pastry shop. You understood, maybe in Hong Kong we don't have a lot of good pastry shops. I made a website. I have some free pastries. Now you see, will people want to try your pastry? What do? You run ads. You run ads of your pastry shop. You run ads on Facebook. You run ads on Instagram. You run ads on TikTok. You run ads on different platforms. I'll give an example. So this company called Zappos, it's also a very old company which actually sells shoes online. Now, if we sell let's say we three of us want to create a shoe business right now, okay? And we're thinking, should I just bring all of the shoes from China, store here, and then sell them? That's not effective. I first need to check, will people need a platform where they can buy shoes? You need to test that one first, right? So what we will do, we are smart people. So we're not gonna go to China and buy all of the shoes. What we're gonna do, we're going to Mongkok. We'll go to Mongkok, we'll find some stores who are selling shoes already. We'll tell them, hey, we want to test an idea. Why don't you take pictures of all of your shoes and post it online? And right now, are those our shoes? No, they're not our shoes. Their shoes, right? But then we are posting the pictures of their shoes on our website to just see if people want to buy shoes online. That's what they did. They were smart. It's just to test if there is a need. And then let's say we create the website of the shoe and we see people are not interested. That means maybe, okay, this is not something we should pursue, we should see something else. That's exactly what you do, to see, test. Now the question is, how do you use AI in this whole thing? So again, now we're thinking, I am not a marketing guy, I don't know how to create ads. This is year 2024, you don't need to know how to do things. There are tools for you to do things. For example, this website called @creative.ai, you just tell them what do you want to do. If you type, create me an ad for selling shoes online, it will create you 30 to 40 videos of different ads with music and all of those things. And then you can just download one of those videos and upload online. You see? So what AI here is doing is it is actually helping you get better results. It's actually decreasing your time, right? It's actually helping you think. So AI is just an enabler. A lot of times right now people think, will AI take my job? Will AI actually cancel jobs for other people? What AI is doing is AI is making you better. Now next step. You found a problem. You build an MVP, the simplest version of your product that people might use, and you have tested. You did. Okay, you did some tests. You spoke to people, some users used it, then what do you do next? When people use it, for example, for the shoe business that we wanted to launch, right? People said, okay, Saket, I don't think your shoe business idea is a great thing. Maybe you can sell shoes only for girls, or only for children. or only for old people. Initially, our niche was very big, but then they said maybe in Hong Kong there are not a lot of shoes for old people. So what you do is you gather feedback as early as possible and you pivot. All of us here use Instagram, right? Who uses Instagram? Can I see some hands? Who uses Instagram? All of them, right? Right? Now, what is Instagram? You share photos with people, you share stories on Instagram. But then Instagram, when they launched it, this is not what it was. When they launched Instagram, it was a location-based check-in app. So it's like this. I come to Coho and I put, oh, I'm in Coho. It was a location-based app. But then when I'm in Coho, I took a picture of Coho and posted, hi, I'm in Coho. But then when they launched it, they realized that people are not interested in the location-based feature. People are interested in the photo sharing feature that, oh, you can share your photos when you're doing location. And that's when they realized, interesting, that could be a business. So then what they did, the initial focus was a location-based business. They completely shifted to just creating a platform where people can share their photos. Similarly, when you have an idea, maybe the first version is not the business you'll be doing. The first idea, what you have, is not what you'll be doing at the end. So what you have to do is very important is gather feedback as early as possible, because as founders, entrepreneurs, we have this black box in our head. Sometimes we think what we are thinking is right, but 99% of the time we're not right. You have to speak to people, because when you're thinking about an idea, you're only thinking about it from your perspective. When I'm building something, when we're thinking about the show business, we're just thinking from 3 of our perspective. But then when we take our face there, when we all point here and ask us, guys, do you think there is a shoe business opportunity? Now you're saying, no, actually, I don't think so. I don't use online shoes. And then one of you tell me, but I've seen my grandmother buying a lot of shoes online. Then it's interesting. Now it's time to actually shift. So how do you use AI here as well? Again, there are so many platforms called Hotjar, Market Learning. What they do is they allow you to understand user behavior, what they like, what they don't like. So you can use these sort of platforms to actually collect and analyze feedback as fast as possible. And when you do it, you change, you pivot. You change from what you initially had to where you should go. Now, next step, interesting. You had a problem, you built the initial product, you test it out, you change it. Now maybe when you actually iterated and changed to a new perspective, now we are selling shoes for old people. Then how much do we charge? Now the question is, do we charge 500 Hong Kong dollars? Maybe not, because they can just go to Mongkok and just buy a shoe for 200 Hong Kong dollars. So what do we do? How do we make sure that our users don't go outside and just buy from us? So that's when we have to understand what actually would make us succeed. What would a pricing model look like? How many of you know about Slack? The tool, Slack, right? You in organizations use Slack to speak to your employees, to manage the whole thing. But initially, when Slack started, they allowed users to join for free. Still, they're allowing us to join for free, but then when a certain amount crosses, right, they ask you to pay, right? What does that mean? They initially got you hooked into the platform. They made you use the platform for free. They made you think like, wow, Slack is very good. I can speak to my employees. I can assign them tasks. I can talk to them. But then your organization now became a little bigger. Now they're asking you, you have to pay now. Now you can also use it for free. But then you realize this actually solves a great problem. Going back to step 1, why would you want to pay for something? It actually solves your problem, right? It is actually letting you speak. What is the problem here? You don't have a platform to speak to your employees. Slack is giving you the platform to speak to your employees, and it is doing a great job. You give your money because they're solving a problem for you. Then again, the whole idea of the presentation is to actually tell you how can you again use AI to do this. Because see, the reason why I'm telling AI every time is because if something took you 1 hour to do things, AI would let you do it in like 1 minute, 2 minutes. So you're saving time, you can focus on other aspects. There are different platforms called PriceLab, Google Analytics, and these sort of platforms where you can actually see trends of price changes of different things. And you can understand, okay, maybe this is how much I should charge. Maybe you can run real life experiments. You can do different ads, you can run experiments with different things, and then you can, after you're doing trials and trials and trials, then you can say, okay, maybe this is what I'm charging. Once you have a price of your mind, who would pay for it? Maybe, okay, we want to sell shoes for old people, but who would buy a shoe from us for their grandmother? Would you buy a shoe? No, maybe not. Would you buy a shoe? how do I know you would buy a shoe? How do I know that this is my customer? I cannot get all the customers in the world, right? I need to know who are the few set of people who will be paying for my thing. So now you can say, if you buy a shoe from your grandmother, we give you 10% off in an insurance company. Because why did you say that? Because your grandmother is a bit old. She might get sick. At some point in life, maybe you might need some insurance. So you partnered with the insurance company and you told your shoe, when someone bought a shoe from you, you said, okay, if you get a shoe, you get 5% discount for this insurance company. And that makes sense for you. Wow, I'm buying a shoe and I'm getting 5% off from my insurance company. That makes sense. So what you're doing is you're actually giving some incentive. Because these sort of people need the product, but then why would they come to you? Are you actually giving them something better? So that is what you have to think when you actually solve a problem, or let's say you're trying to get a certain set of people. Again, that's one way. Now, for example, now I tell you, hey, if you sell 10 shoes for me, from every shoe I give you $20 Hong Kong dollars. Now that you might be thinking, wow, that makes good sense for me. I'll tell my friends about this platform. Hey, there's a new platform where you can get shoes for your grandmother or old people. And that's a good way, right? You can understand, oh wow, with referrals, with newsletters. Another thing is really good, which is newsletters. So let's say right now, you're still wanting to sell a shoe for your grandmother. So what we do is we create a very nice newsletter and we ask all of you to subscribe to it. So what we're doing is every day, we're asking you to read the newsletter. We're sending emails, hey, there's this new shoe coming up we can use for your grandmother. Next day, we're sending you another newsletter. So we are actually showing you how we are solving your problem. And then, after you do this step, the last step. Now see, where did we start? We had a problem. What was the problem? For us, we want to sell shoes. We decided, okay, the MVP, the minimum viable product, is an online website. Then we tested with some few users, and the users told us actually shoe business is not what you should do. Probably you should do a business for what? For selling shoes for old people. So we tested that, and now we iterated it. Now we actually asked a few people, hey, you should use it. And then we tried to understand how much should we charge. Should we charge $200, $150? How much should we charge? And then we found out a few specific people who were willing to buy our shoe. But then we cannot just let them buy once and then not let them come back to our platform again, right? Why would they stick to our platform? Now, you get newsletters, you get an incentive, for example, as I was telling you, giving them a subscription for our insurance platform, right? Giving them an incentive. Now, once you have done all of those whole things, once you have learned from those things, you have to launch the product. Now, when you're launching a product, what's really important for a startup is to create a buzz. What does buzz mean? Buzz meaning a hype. Then, for example, you take some paid actors, let's say old people, you create a really nice video of them wearing your shoe, how this shoe changed their entire life, right? And then when anyone else sees this whole thing, they also get the same feeling. Think, wow, this is something different. Maybe my father should use it, maybe my mother should use it, right? So this is what you do as a buzz. Then now the question is, how do you use AI for this? Now, if you think about it, again, even before people sees your video, they need to know that there's a company who are actually selling shoes, right? Then you need to do SEO. You need to let people know that something like you exists. You have to do social media campaigns. And then these platforms like Surfer SEO, Growth Bar, Hawkshoe Insight, they actually help you launch the whole thing. And that's done. So coming from step one to step 7, you're here. Now, I've been giving a lot of talk about this MVP creation. Now, I'll tell a little bit about what our companies do. So we actually help founders and entrepreneurs to build their product. So let's say if you are an entrepreneur, you have a problem, you come to us and we will do the entire step 1 to step 7 for you. You don't need to think about anything. So what we, as a company, we are actually helping founders and companies to build and launch their products. Starting from identifying the problem, to launch the MVP, to testing, to iteration, to getting the users, to getting the pricing strategy. We do the whole thing for founders. And we do a few things as well. We have a global team. We have teams in Hong Kong, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, UK, Australia, Canada, Korea, Japan, Canada, Europe, Germany as well. So our team actually have expertise from all around the world and really understand each of these steps. Now, before I end the whole thing, and I've been giving a lot of talks about telling you how to build a product. And I'm sure some of you at some point in your life had amazing ideas. You might wanted to solve amazing problems, but then maybe you didn't have time. Maybe you had to focus on your current job. Maybe you had to take care of your kids. Maybe you had to do a lot of things, but you never started. I want to end this whole thing with 3 quotes from 3 amazing people in the world. The first one is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. You don't need to be an amazing software engineer to start a tech product. All you have to do is start. Just launch something and see how people react. And then when people give you feedback, a lot of people, for example, if I want to launch something and if I tell him, hey, I want to launch this, but I need help from the Hong Kong Startup Association, then he would be willing to, if I'm actually doing something good, he will be stepping, yeah, so I'll help you out. But then I did not have that skill set. He is helping me out with the whole thing. But all I had to do was reach out and tell him what I'm doing. Similarly, the next one. What people say, I think you guys know what LinkedIn is, right? Yeah. And the founder of LinkedIn was told that if you're not embarrassed by the first version of the product, you're launched too late. That means that you just have to do something, launch something. And of course, the first version of everything is not good. It's definitely not good. When Airbnb launched, it was just a website with 1 apartment. It was not the best thing, but now if you go to the Airbnb, you can choose different countries, you can choose dates, you can get different offers, different connections, but then they did not build it in one day. They started somewhere, right? They started somewhere, and then from here, after a year, you came here. And the last one, because the whole talk is about AI, I just want to tell you this, that AI is not just one tool. It doesn't take jobs, it doesn't make your life hard, it doesn't make you lazy. If you're smart enough to use AI, it's a key to unlocking new possibilities, and that's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Saki. I would like to introduce the first speaker,
Yeah, okay.
Luke Chu,
Yes.
the founder
Yeah.
chairman of
Yeah.
Hong Kong IECA.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Oh,
It's
thank you, thank you,
given to you.
thank you. I do so much.
Gentlemen, you mind you change? I'm changing to Cantonese。我就可以啦，對嚇。多謝偉國，又係我啊！今日好開心。咁本來我都想講 AI 話咁多人添，唔到熟朋友添。不過咧就佢因為俾佢講晒啦，我唔知講咩。咁今日咧我為咗偉哥咧就今日應該呢個 season 第一場係嘛？第一場。咁咧我就講一個 topic 啊 ，Nico 喺度就係啦，因為 Nico 咧就好少讚我㗎，係啊，因為佢今日讚我話我咧就今日次都 SFA 嘅嘢活動咧就講啲嘢係全新嘅，所以今日啲內容咧係全新嘅嚇，咁啊大家留意啦 ，OK， 係哦唔係sorry 頭嗰幾版係舊嘅。關於 KIC 嘅，多謝你先。咁我係Internet E-commerce Association 嘅。咁今年踏入5月之後踏入第9年過咗9年，踏入第10年啦嚇。咁所以有咩 e-commerce 就揾我啦，呢度我簡略啦。咁重點嚟，我係教淘寶嘅舊時嚇，教淘寶嘅。咁而家雙11就嚟啦嚇 ，OK。咁大家睇住嚟做咯嚇。不過我知雙11今年好嚴峻嚇，因為俾嗰個叫做拼多多搞咗一輪嚇。咁而家消費麻麻地嚇，咁有咩就買。我嗰度冇店㗎。冇利申冇掂啊！其他科技嘅嘢我都有做嘅，咁我 part time trainer 我可能會請佢哋幫手講下嘢咁講得。OK， 咁我哋會咧就去個 global 啦，去個咩咁呢啲唔講啦。淘寶真嘅即係個獎狀仲喺出邊嚇。OK， 咁我喺17年去過聯合國event見過 Winston Cerf 真係見過嚇，唔係 Kilo 嚟嘅。咁當其時佢講 AI Lara 17年。OK， 咁我2020就開始教 AI， 不過嗰陣時啲人又唔鬼理我嘅，咁而家開始個個都講 AI。好，咁 background 講完，咁呢幾班舊嘅嚟啦 ，Nico 睇住啦喎。今日咧因為係 Startup Founder Association， 所以我今日唔係好講 technology 嘅，我今日講我 startup 嘅故仔，希望有啲 inspiration。OK， Hello you guys, you see me 30 years ago about me。Okay? Not talking about MVP, you know, it's real product. 咁咧，that moment I'm working in bank and change to you know the IT company ASA。嗰陣時 ASA 唔係咁嘅 logo 㗎，當其時係一個好似箭嘴咁 logo。咁我哋 founder 嗰個 founder 都好勁，叫施振榮嚇，施振榮啊，叫做台灣嘅。你可以堆個 QR code 喺興趣睇，因為一陣我唔播晒㗎。咁咧當其時咧就算做亞洲區做電子係比較叻啲嘅，咁我咧小弟就勁啦。首先同阿潔儀姐姐做訪問啦，係咪？佢訪問我，唔係我訪問佢。OK， 俾你片你睇先，咁聲㗎。睇一陣嘅啦，唔使睇晒，好長嘅，好鬼中意我，所以留咗喺度訪問好耐。
I'm invented USB for desktop PC 30 years ago。
咁個環節裏頭咧，我哋就打嚟一台咧新嘅電腦啦。咁而呢台電腦咧正好咧，好善用到咧呢種 USB 嘅技術嘅。當中嘅情況係點樣咧？不如請我哋詳細講下。
Thank you, Chairman。
咁通常咧就會喺呢一個嘅主機嗰度咧，有一個位有一個電子嘅插頭咁㗎。咁但係呢個機咧可以保護你嘅。
對呢個時咧，keyboard mouse 都唔會用 USB 嘅。我哋今次咧用咗呢個 USB keyboard mouse。
Not edited by AI。
所以要插上呢個 keyboard。
我想睇多少少啫，呢個係 hardware。
跟之後有軟件添嘅，軟硬我都有做啊，唔係嗰個天絲喎，即係呢個電腦啊，睇得就。
我咧 keyboard 隔離呢度咧就會有一個 USB 嘅插頭，加埋機芯入邊咧總共有5個。
30年前有冇人買 desktop PC？
咁然之後呢種技術就幫助到
有買過 ？OK， 砌機就有機會，即係你自己黃金有機會變 brand computer 第一步有 USB device 解決 problem，solve the problem，you know，extend the port。
好啦，咁另一方面咧，網絡
domestic market
見到咧嚇，佢呢個 keyboard 除咗有一般嘅基本一啲鍵掣之外咧，我見到嗰邊咧就加咗一個咧好大嘅弧。
I add a volume control over there as well。
加咗個
大聲細聲講，好 user friendly 㗎，我諗啲嘢。OK。
咁我哋而家特登將呢個功能咧擺咗上去呢個 keyboard 上面。
睇到個軟件，睇到軟件好快。
咁呢個與此同時，隔離呢度有兩個細嘅，一個咧就係
嗰陣時冇有識使用長咪講嘅。
上網開咗包架啦，另外呢個咧係個機其實都係正常態嘅。
咁換言之咧，唔需要再喺平時我哋一般嘅laptop個畫面度抄翻個包架啦，咁就可以即時利用。
There's two inventions. One is USB port is really the first one in Hong Kong market. Another one is volume control.
嗱，咁雖然就話咧，好方便咧，一啲初學嘅或者係一啲嘅用戶就插隨時插即用啦。咁但係會唔會話我插完之後有啲部分我自己都唔知係咪插得啱嘅喎？咁會唔會話當中有啲乜嘢嘢可以提醒到我哋㗎？
咁我哋會連帶咗一隻軟件，咁我哋叫做 OBI 嘅軟件，就去
連讀咗一隻啊，呢隻
而家睇得到究竟你個鍵盤同埋個 mouse 咧係插得啱唔啱？
哦，咁樣咁不如就調去睇下，咁當中嘅軟件點樣提醒我哋啦？嗬，咁其實呢個軟件大家都見到啦，有好多唔同嘅硬件出現咗喎。咁當中佢點樣提醒大家嘅咧？
咁你見到喺
呢個就好渣嘅，你插唔到個 USB 落去咧，個出個畫面嚟聽，插咗落去個畫面就 skip 咗，低能嘢嚟嘅，冇乜嘢，未到精彩先。阿 Shadow 可能都唔知啊，你咁樣試先。
係啊，記得插翻呢一個 mouse 咁樣啦。咁然之咧，啱啱安裝一台新嘅電腦，咁有咗呢個軟件提醒大家會知道自己咧邊一個位插錯咗，又或者乜嘢冇插嘅。咁但係咧，對於啲初學電腦話啱啱咧想用到嘅朋友們，最驚嘅情況咧就死機情況喎嚇。咁即時又揾啲專家，又或者咧係呢台呢個售後服務。咁但係
你哋都會遇到啊，成死機係嘛？
冇辦法可以令到佢
死機點解決？就 pinpoint 解決死機 ，OK。
試一試裏邊有咧，另外一隻咧叫軟件咧，就叫時光倒流器。咁呢個時光倒流器咧，
勁啊嘛，係嘛？周星馳係20年之後先拍咗個《大話西遊》，10年之後。咁我喺佢嘅10年之前就係發明咗一個叫 Time Machine 嘅軟件，將你部機係還原某個地方。我個諗法就好簡單，當其時打機係 backup restore， 我仲有部機變成咁樣，所以全港第一部有品牌嘅電腦做 recovery CD， 嗰個工程師就企喺度。OK，咁係咪值 都有啲掌聲。OK， 講住啦 ，OK。咁我喺度今日咧想講下咧就係、即係講啲我頭先大量嘅 speaker 我都係啱啱認識咁啊 tour around 講下，咁自己好似喺呢個 IT 界或者呢個互聯網界咧，好似係 dinosaur Stone Age 啊，好似個 dinosaur 咁樣，即係仲講翻歷史，一日個個都喺度笑咁樣。咁但係我今日 inspiration 嘅，我講一聽咧就係、因為我哋最近呢個4個字係與時並進嚇，咁英文係複雜啲，叫 upskills and reskills 即係你大概知啦。你嗰啲 ERP 咧，唔係僱員再培訓局咁樣咧，就係 reskills 你啦嘛對。咁大概都有 path 啦，我唔詳細講啦。咁我最早我係做 R&D 啊，離開咗銀行之後，我好中意 R&D 嘅，唔知點解。係啦，咁所以多謝阿威今日邀請我講下呢個技術 topic， 跟住後尾做咗 product development， 跟住而家有好多 people develop people， 所以有呢個 mindset 就 development， 後尾就帶團隊啦 technology management 啦。其實我而家比較集中啲，希望好多人咧諗到一啲創意諗法，能夠 maintain 佢。咁我哋叫做創意管理，叫 innovation management。咁 ISO 我係嚟緊會 provide 嘅56002嚇，咁有機會再研究多啲，我呢度唔講啦。OK， 好我喺 people development 中間我都有兩個生意啦，一個咧就係、當年咧都係學下嘢啊，05年喺清華度嚇，咁好似冇做好一個考過啊嘛。OK， 跟住咧我又呢度其中一位同事咧仲喺 PCW 度做啊，邊個咧？阿 Derek 啊，你哋而家睇緊 Now TV 啊佢嘅。嘅 head of Now TV 嚟㗎 ，OK， 咁其他都已經唔係呢間公司啦，OK， 就係、好講翻嚟創業啊 ，entrepreneurship， 我跳入 entrepreneurship 咧就係呢種圖像解像㗎喎。咁有冇朋友呢度係用過 Nokia 手機啊 ？Nokia 手機你記唔記得嗰陣時有一個好勁嘅 smartphone 屬於早代 smartphone 嘅功能叫 Symbian， 你知唔知啊？Symbian 即係可以 download 個我老婆成日玩個 game 叫 Puzzle Bubble 啊，係咁射個波咧打個遊戲，咁你可以自己裝 app， 好早啊，未到呢度。咁咧香港有兩個 app 㗎，一個係揾 Westron， 頭先揾 Westron， 揾 Map 裏邊喺 Symbian 裏邊㗎 ，OK， 即係喺 Nokia Symbian， 唔知你有冇用過啦？嗰個 app 係我寫㗎。多謝。咁係算香港最早代嘅 smart app 嚟㗎啦，即係要 for smartphone， 即係可以自己 download 嘅。不過一夜之間會冇晒，明我意思啊？咁所以喺個創業路裏邊咧，就算有 MVP 有 AI 咧都唔容易㗎。你點維係點名稱？咁即係我哋叫 disruptive 啦，就係點樣破壞重新呢個難嘅難。好啦，咁我翻嚟，我差唔多尾聲㗎啦。講 entrepreneur 咧，我就覺得有啲嘢想 share 俾大家。你哋呢度係青協喎，好啦，啲學生好迷戀老師啊，你見啊，嗰度影相。咁啊，我自己覺得咧就唔係講呢啲講笑啫嚇。咁咧我都唔知我會教書同埋做分享㗎，完全冇知，開頭冇 plan。雖然好似大學我做 aptitude test 嗰陣時就唔係叫 MBTI， 叫 aptitude test。我 first 第一個 tier 咧。就係叫我做老師啊！我唔係嘅，我想做科學家喎，咁做老師啊，即係唔同。咁而家突然間就成日都出嚟講嘢，咁點解？咁咧我就想講下俾大家聽 ，entrepreneur 咧都係一件事，你要 equip 自己有啲準備。咁咧隨時咧，sorry， 第二個咧，你希望對嗰陣時有啲熱情嘅。咁我 sharing 或者教書或者講嘢咧，都因為我對呢啲 topic 係有興趣。雖然你而家好多人覺得我都係喺度營商咧，其實我對 R&D 就好有興趣嘅嚇。不過我而家冇機會砌機嚇，我笑。跟住咧，最後你有冇辦法準備自己去迎接未來啊？咁我覺得呢個係第一個 mindset 要處理嘅。第二，呢度都係同樣呢個 mindset， 咁我就因為咁樣咧，諸事八卦就做咗好多嘢。呢度我哋去 Geneva， 呢個咧朱古力波啊，講笑啫。呢度咧係唔知有邊個朋友問我，呢個係 Siron 啊 ，CRN 啊 ，Siron， 即係咧你喺歐洲裏邊咧有兩個地下嗰個咩粒子撞擊揾嗰個 the minimum form 或者 basic form of particle， 哇！咁多幾個地方，有機會就我哋再喺 Geneva， 即係近呢個瑞士同呢個法國邊境中間。 咁就有機會都對佢。咁我又去前海，又去台灣咁樣，都係同一個 mindset。第二個咧就係、擁抱 technology 啊，多謝我嗰其中一個都同我肩並肩好多年嘅喺度咧，認識好多 technology 嘅朋友，多謝今日都認識兩位新朋友咧，就係、原來有啲學識咧係要溫故知新，重新再 equip 嘅。咁喺唔同地方我就 equip 好多嘢。當然今日我哋 topic 講 AI 啦，咁 AI 都不斷喺度 evolve 緊啊，即係改變挑戰，令到你重新做嘅嘢咧，佢一嘢就冇晒啦。OK， 因為舊時寫曲，我寫曲都唔渣噶，喺度啊 OK 嘅，而家唔使寫啊，因為你喺講，咁你勁過我啊，咁就麻煩啦呢單嘢嚇。咁我哋睇下，仲有 mindset。今日阿偉哥邀請我嚟講第一場，好榮幸，所以我哋講一講佢嘅 mindset， 即係希望 willing to share。咁我覺得我企喺度可以即係多謝大家喺度聽下嘅咧，就係即係我有機會周圍去講下嘢，因為即係我哋有個想分享嘅情感啊。有啲人咧做完啲嘢咧就唔想 share 㗎，係嘛？自己匿埋係嘛咁樣。咁我就中意將自己啲嘢嚇最嗰條片好少俾人睇㗎啦已經。因為甩色啊，你見唔見啊？咁俾大家睇下，咁啊睇翻啲青蔥歲月咁樣，咁大概咁樣咯，即係俾你知道。不過咧，我今日因為 AI 咧都有啲實質嘅 share 俾大家。我帶俾今日，我慢慢講，好出晒嚟先。最近咧我研究 AI 啊 ，GPT 你知嗬 ？GPT T stand for transformer framework， transformer framework is from Google in fact TensorFlow，OK， 咁呢個 transformer framework 咧都好大問題啊，好大問題。咩問題咧？就係、你知道 Google 咧霸咗 Internet 有幾年啦？20年啊嘛，嚟緊都差唔多20年啦，好威，好勁啊！因為咧，我今日頭先我喺醫管局過嚟嘅，咁啊講下 talk 俾嗰啲 IT 部，我話 Google 有咩勁咧？佢做一個佢自己都唔知做到乜嘢嘅結果，就係、佢 crawl the world 啊！佢想揾全世界嘅資料俾你啊！咁咧，你知唔知全世界嘅資料係咩啊？哥知唔知啊？係冇啊，係佢都唔知，但係佢夠膽做呢件事，就係呢個就係我覺得就你翻成好勁嘅。咁但係佢勁到一個點嘅時候咧，其實咧就有陣時啲嘢無窮無盡，好似 AI 咁啊。咁我絕對唔係 anti AI 發展嘅人嚟，我好中意擁抱發展嘅，因為發展得快嘅時候可能過多10年20年我都唔喺度啦。咁咧，但係佢有一個發展有一個 limitation 嘅 limitation 就喺度啦 hallucination 啊，即係佢咧因為呢個 transformer framework 係 Google 嚟嘅，佢盡量都想滿足你需求嘅，好似我啲仔女咁啊嚇。咁咧我問個仔最近佢考嗰啲 form test， 問下佢温咗書未啊？我頭先有啲肚餓啊，咁你答我冇温咪得咯，係咪？即係咁樣。佢總唔知咧就咁有同感啊你哋，咁咧即係佢盡量就想滿足你，俾個答案你，但其實佢冇答你㗎，就係、是、呢種感覺，呢種叫幻覺啊中文，一種幻覺，疑幻似真咁樣。你唔知係咪㗎啦？你唔肯定個答案嘅話咧，你就會覺得好麻煩嘅。有陣時你去 GPT 揾下碌朱偉標就話下一屆特首咁你就唔好信係㗎，即係流嘅。咁咧，但係佢係有唔同種種預示。咁我哋而家做科技發展有陣時要考慮一個位嘅，就係、我哋點善用嗰啲 AI， 即係唔係話淨係用玩以外，我哋 apply 或者 use of 嗰啲工具咧。我試喺度拆解個 GPT 咧，有一個 core 一定係要理解嘅。其實裏邊 embed 咗個叫 natural language processing， 即係咧個機械識人啊，識你講嘅嘢。識你表達嘅嘢，識你寫嘅嘢，又用翻人話講嚟聽。其實佢應該俾啲0101你嘅，不過夾硬俾翻啲字你，等你知啫嚇。咁咧 generate 嗰啲 content 俾你個內容嗰啲叫 generation 嚇 NLG。咁咧小心啲運用，你只要運用佢多啲嘅 NLU， 佢 understand 你嘅應該 enough 㗎啦。呢度最後一個 example。OK， 最後嘅 OK， 多謝。唔好意思啊，我都係想擺自己相啊。咁你可以嘟下個 QR code 玩下，嗰個 WhatsApp 嚟嘅。咁我喺裏邊咧就放咗我哋協會嘅資料啦，出街網站嚟。我哋咧就做一個小嘅 LLM crawl 我哋嘅 website。 咁你試下問裏邊啲嘢一定準確嘅。咁我擺咗我份 CV 喺裏邊，係啦，你中意嘅就同佢傾下偈。最後嘅就我有間餐廳嘅喺荔枝角，如果你覺得喂餐廳係食乜嘢要 book 位嘅 for business use 嘅，你可以撳落嚟試下，好嘛？咁我今日 share 到咁多先，多謝好多。
Please take out this. Sure. 我拉。
Thank you, Luke. Please stay.
Okay.
I would like to invite Saki and Mr. Gao to come here for the panel discussion.
One chair is okay. Okay.
Sure. Okay, here the questions. First of all, that is a simple question for you guys first. How do you define intelligent innovation in the context of AI-driven e-commerce and digital marketing?
Marketing with me.
All right.
Go. E-commerce first. Yeah. Try to.
Sure, first.
How do you define AI in digital marketing?
Or e-commerce, whatever.
I think I would choose 3 keywords. First is automation, second is personalized, and the final is automation, personalized, and the interactions. Okay. So I think AI makes the business become more understand about the user behavior. Yeah. So they can, based on their user behavior, to make personalized market strategies. Yeah. So and they will do, and there will be more interactions with AI and their customer.
Almost
So when it comes to innovation with AI, I mean the whole purpose of AI is to make your business operate faster.
Yes.
And AI comes here to make the whole thing faster, easier, and less errors, right? So I can think of some examples which all of us can relate to life. Think of Netflix. How many of you know Netflix? All of us, right? Yeah. So when you enter Netflix, you see sometimes it just shows you shows that cater to you. How does it do it? It understands the data, all of your past history, all of your checks, and it learns what you would want to see. And then it actually gives you a better customer satisfaction. That's how you use AI. Again, think of buying something on Amazon. When you buy, let's say, a phone, you'll see at the bottom, you'll see phone cases, phone covers. How does it do it? Maybe you did not initially think about buying a phone case, but then when you see it, you feel like, yeah, I might need it. So the whole entire point of innovation is actually making the whole business smoother and making your life as a customer easier. Simple.
They cover all my topics, but I agree the word automation. I love that word because AI is kind of, a machine to replace kind of human process. So simple application as you search the tickets in Expedia, and then you visit the newspaper website, they'll call up related advertising. And another one is you want to check some data or selling information, product information at midnight. Who will be served? So AI will be a wonder force to helping those normal behavior of human.
Thank you. Talking about impact of AI on customer behavior, in what ways has AI changed the way customer interact with online business? What do you guys think?
Oh, me first. So I continue with my point. I think all those repeated process could be replaced by AI. For example, scanning the paper, filling the form, by OCR, and those frequently asked questions could be replaced by AI bots. Kind of example for all those business process. Yeah,
Yeah, on top of that, when it comes to customer behavior, right? And the entire use case of AI is making the customer feel like the company is thinking about them.
Yeah.
Now, one aspect of consumer behavior is showing extremely personalized ads. So when you go to Netflix or Amazon or other e-commerce platform, you'll see the page you see is completely different than another person. The ads, the advertisement is completely different. For example, you might see a laptop ad, I might see a phone ad. It might be different, but then you're looking for a laptop. They understand because of your browser history, the way you actually interact with the whole thing. So they are trying to utilize AI to personalize the entire experience, and I think that's one of the best use cases when it comes to understanding what a consumer needs.
Thank you.
I think the customer, they will spend less time on searching, but they just receive what AI generate for them. Like maybe 20 years ago, you browse on Google, you always need to search something. Yeah, but now you can just, like you open Instagram or Twitter, and you just see the information flow that they send to you.
Thank you. Talking about the data utilization, how can companies effectively harness the data analysis to improve their marketing strategies using AI?
Okay. How can companies use AI to improve their market strategies?
the market.
So I think one way they can do is that they can use the data from the users to create a profile for every customer. So I think the key point for doing this is the matching. Yeah. So you need to match the user profile with your relevant market strategies or marketing content. So make sure that the user will receive what they like.
I'll just elaborate on the point. So before you think about marketing, you have to think about data.
Yeah.
And then where do you collect the data from, right? So many platforms, social media, browsers, email, newsletter. So you're collecting data from different aspects. And once you collect data, there will be so many noise in the data, so many information that you would not use. And when you spoke about hallucination, right? When you have all of this data, you have to really clean the data.
Yeah.
So that when you put all of this data on your AI algorithm, it really understands the data and does not really give you things that you wouldn't need. And based on those data, you make profiles. This is a segment. This is a young segment. This is a middle-aged segment. This is an old segment. And then you run ads, you run personal campaigns specifically for those things.
In fact, I love his terms in the slide called social listening tool, collect the user behavior, understand them, do sentiment analysis before you go ahead to have a solid product or even service for the market.
Okay, thank you. Talking about the personalization strategies, what roles does AI play in personalizing customer experience, and what are some best practice for implementing this?
Best practice. You get the MVP process.
You're the MVP expert, right?
Yes.
I mean, see, before you use AI in your business, you really have to understand why you're using AI. You can't use AI in every aspect of your business. You can, but the point is, would it make sense? So the whole first point is you understand where are you going to use AI. For example, you showed us at the end a chatbot, right? Now the question is, do you need a chatbot for your business? If you do need a chatbot, then you identify, okay, I need to implement AI to automate my conversations with my customers. That's one use case. Then you start with finding out what are the other use cases. Can I use AI to really leverage data? Should I go collect information from TikTok and what people say about different products and then sell my products depending on those people? So the whole point of using AI and how you can actually, the best practices, really choose where will I use this AI, and then you implement it. Now, when it comes to implementation as well, sometimes what happens is a lot of employees don't know. A lot of people don't know how to use AI. Then so many things. First of all, either you partner with people, companies, organizations who can actually help you implement it, or you get skilled talent who can actually help you for it.
he taught almost my points.
All right.
So you want to add?
Any other one?
No comments.
Okay, yeah, sure, sure.
So here comes the next question. I would like to talk about the future trends.
Future trends.
Yeah.
Okay.
What emerging trends do you see in AI-driven in e-commerce or digital marketing over the next few years?
Yes.
I think you must be there.
Me first,
So I talk about e-commerce, okay? On top of shopping behavior, consumer pattern, I think we should apply the AI for those social monitoring, sentiment, trends from different platforms to predict all those products or services which is maybe popular or upward trend, even from KOL, live, clippings, the audience leadership trend. So make sure before you build a product or build a platform, you have more know about the consumer behavior before you push or publish another really effective marketing strategy. So you know about the consumer first before you have a plan.
So the trends which are really doing good right now in the market is voice-based assisted shopping.
Yeah.
Now, for example, let's say you're looking for a T-shirt which is orange color and from a different company. You don't want to search on the platform and look for it. A lot of research has been doing, or there are a lot of platforms as well. You just turn on the recording. You tell them, show me a T-shirt in orange color. The second you do it, they're going to show you all the different categories and products just like that. And it really decreases the time. You don't need to search anymore. You just speak to an application. That's one. Secondly is the implementation of AR and VR. A lot of times, AR, augmented reality and virtual reality, where you are able to see the product. You know, I don't know how many people tried the Apple Vision, right? It's really amazing when you wear it. It's really amazing. Similarly, if you can see your products even before you use it, think about you're buying a shoe and then it has a VR extension where you can actually see how the product will look like in real life. That increases the chances of you buying the product in the future. So I think these two are one of the upcoming trends which are coming in terms of e-commerce.
I want to talk about the interactions between human and AI. So I think one thing is that the interactions will be happens in a higher level and more dimensions. And now we basically communicating with AI with the text, and maybe sounds and picture. But I think in the future there will be like more like digital human, and maybe also some maybe you can directly plug in some connecting to your head. So I think the interaction will be a trend.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more?
Oh yeah.
Last one?
But anyway, any questions from the floor? But there is a question from the Zoom.
Yeah.
How about, can you guys share a successful case where AI significantly improve the performance or e-commerce outcomes for a business? Any successful case from you guys to share?
Could I talk about the branding?
Yeah, use
Sure.
AI to whatever.
It's okay. Of course, you know about the Paysify, right?
Right. Yeah.
Paysify is selling the product so almost 24 hours per day, you know. And also, he's capturing the CS potential, any failure, defect of the product, the handle, the retention customer behavior, and also have the maintenance with online, you know, by chatbot, by follow-up, instead of just push out the sales appointment. That's kind of application of AI, which I know is really amazing.
One of the applications I can think about is from COVID, which is how Amazon maintained the logistics. So in COVID, you know, people had to stay in their houses, right? And they really were looking to do fitness activities at home. But even before that happened, Amazon understood this trend. When you're speaking about social listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
They we're understanding these upcoming trends that were coming. And fitness product is one of the examples. They understood there would be a great need of fitness products. What they did was, when they understood this need, they really put or increased the number of items in their warehouse so that when there's a demand, they can easily accommodate to that. So that's amazing application, really keeping your eyes and listening what could be there in the market.
And I want to share about the 小红书.
Really.
Yeah,
Yes,
they integrate the e-commerce with the social media. So in the initial days, they were a platform that designed for the young people to share their experience with others. Yeah, but after that, they began to sell some books, and they integrate their goods into their blogs. Yeah. And because of their high quality content, so people, they are willing to stay in the platform for a long time and browse it. So I think it's a successful example for the combining of AI and e-commerce and social media.
Okay. Thank you guys. I think this is the end of the presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, thank you. Feel free if you want to ask any question to our speaker, just feel free.